High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking out. It is off his head, it looked like. And over the top, a home run. That looked like it hit Canseco to the top of the head. We'll have to check the replay. Oh, it did. He went over the fence. David Hull's laughing out there, so it...
Hi again, it's Corey with DNC Ball Cards, back again with Dustin, and we're here to bust open a box of 1992 Donruss Series 2. We've already busted and uploaded Series 1, and we got some cool Diamond King inserts, and we're hoping to get some more of those, and quite possibly an elite card out of this box.
Yeah, so if you watched the first video, probably the best card we pulled was the Cal Ripken Diamond King card. Like Corey talks about in the first video, this was the first time that the Diamond Kings was a inserted card. So you average about 4 Diamond Kings a box, and that held true on the Series 1 box opening as well.
It did, and you can see, just like our box from Series 1 that Dustin got on eBay, this box is very well kept. We'll go ahead and just bust open so we can get the wrapping off, but it was completely sealed, well stored, very good condition box. There were no damages on the Series 1 cards, so I think we're going to get lucky with these Series 2 cards as well. Just like Series 1, we've got the chance to get the Cal Ripken autograph. Obviously, it's very unlikely, but always fun to think that it's a possibility. So we'll go ahead and get these. Trying to think about some of the players that we didn't get in the Series 1 box, probably because they weren't in Series 1. My favorite player of all time, Andre Dawson, we didn't see, so I imagine he's probably in Series 2. I think George Brett was still around at this point, so a George Brett card would have been nice, will be nice. We did get a Ken Griffey Jr., so there's not going to be a Ken Griffey Jr. unless he has an all-star in this particular set.
So under the Series 1, I'm sure it probably went up to a certain number card, right? More than likely.
Yes, yeah, up to 3.
Was it 396?
Sounds, yeah, that sounds about
okay.
right.
Yeah. So it looks like, just looking kind of like the checklist, you've got Tony Gwynn, Tom Glavine. Those are the all-star cards, though. Just trying to look at some of the notable players that we could pull out of the Series 2.
Go ahead and get started on these. Looking up some of those players. I think we may start off the box here with a Diamond King insert, I believe. So we got Dave Hansen, Manuel Lee, Joe Boweaver, Barry Manuel, Phil Plantier, Omar Olivares, Jesse Orozco, Rob Ducey, Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith, all-star card there, Bob Scanlon, Big Mo Vaughn, he was a rookie in '91, I believe, Lee Guterman, Albert Bell, and that Diamond King insert is stuck here. There's Jose Offerman. Trying not to damage it. It is stuck. There it goes. Let's see who we got. Brett Butler. That's a little disappointing, but it is, nonetheless, it's still a very cool card, very glossy, just like the Series 1. Beautiful card.
So, a notable difference between Series 1 and Series 2 is that there is no puzzle feature.
That's right.
In this one.
And I don't know exactly why, and I think we may have another Diamond King insert here. I don't know why, but they were actually, I read that they were required. This was the last year that they were actually required to insert something other than baseball cards in the packs. And I think that held true for the others as well. I know Fleer was well known for inserting stickers. Obviously, Topps, Bubblegum, Fleer stickers. Score had the little lenticular, like hologram kind of thing. And then Donruss,
Upper Deck had
the hologram. So there was something to do, I'm sure it had to do with when Topps lost the exclusive licensing, that they had to do something. And Greg Maddux, this was the last year that they were required to do so. And Randy Bush. So we've gotten back-to-back in Diamond King. Another little kind of a disappointing one, but it doesn't matter. It's still beautiful. J. Bell, Diamond King insert.
I don't believe back then they had a such thing as hot boxes like they do today, but if somehow we got a Diamond King in every pack, that would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
But I think it ends right
I think
here.
it is ending right here. Dave Steeb, Charlie O'Brien, Hector Fajardo, that's an unusual last name, Ray Stevens, Mo Sanford, Yorkis Perez, Rosario Rodriguez, Calvin Jones, Eric Bullock, Joe Carter highlights, Blue Jays attendance record, John Wayner, Hector Villanueva, Cal Eldred, Damon Berryhill, and Junior Noboa. Alright, so I'll just open up a few more packs and we'll just maybe alternate every 5 packs or so. That'll work. Alright, so Jim Gott, Kirk Dressendorfer, that's another nice name to say. I'm sure he hated learning how to write his name. Rick Sutcliffe, Gerald Perry, slapping the ball, John Wetland, David Wells, Danny Cox, Fu Manchu, Bill Kruger, Jeff Montgomery, Stan Royer.
He probably didn't have any trouble seeing the ball.
Yeah, he's kind of a little dorky looking. Jeff Shaw, Bob McDonald, and Bobby Bonilla, all-star cards. So take one more pack here. These packs honestly are opening much easier than the first series. I don't know why, but they are. Kurt Young, Scott Erickson, Ken Patterson. Like, that's the best picture they could pick for Ken Patterson there. Mike Maddox, Greg's brother, Lloyd Mosby, Ben McDonald, who was kind of a hyped pitcher for a while. Checklist, Rudy Cienez, Charlie Hayes, Mariano Duncan, Geronimo Pena, that's a cool action shot.
Just hope he doesn't come straight down.
Yeah, Mike Sharperson, John Jaha, Ricky Jordan, and Jeff Reed.
Ricky Jordan, was he a two-sporter?
I think that was Brian Jordan.
Brian Jordan,
I think, yeah.
I think one of those were.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and... I was just trying to get that Cal Auto out of the way. I wonder, is this the first big product that you could actually pull an auto from?
I think that was Upper Deck. Upper Deck with the 90 Upper Deck. I think it was Reggie Jackson with the 1990, but certainly early.
Cal
There's another
Ripken.
Ripken,
Yep,
yeah.
91 MVP. Ruben Amario. Randy Bush. These have a different, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but they feel different than the Series 1.
Series 1?
Yeah. Offerman. Mitch Webster, they're probably not, though. There's Nolan Ryan.
That's a nice card.
Got Francisco Olivares. Yes. Kurt Schilling.
With the Astros. I didn't even realize.
I didn't either.
For the Astros.
Dan Howitt. Darren Chapin. Tony Castiglia. There's old Billy Ripken. Where's that bat at? Steve Foster. Steve Sachs. And Cliff Brantley.
Got a Nolan, Ryan, and a Cal Ripken in that.
Yeah,
pack,
good pack, yeah.
You're still having problems with the
Well,
they opened really easy for me.
Well, it did. It just didn't give me the way to get in it. Scott Terry. Jim Lieritz. Glenolin Hill. Derek Bell. Jim Gantner. Dave Howard. Luis Alicia. Rich Gedman. Jeff Juden. Ryan Bowen. Candy Maldonado. Keith Miller. I'll look at that, see. I didn't think his name was actually Candy, probably. Candido, yeah. Keith Miller. Jim Lieritz. That's same pack, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Varsho. Scott Heeman.
Packs themselves look nice. I
Yeah.
like the maroon and the gold. Look good.
There's another.
Candido.
Yeah. Keith Miller.
Another one.
Chuck McElroy. McElroy. Gary Varsho. Scott Heeman. Trevor Wilson. Todd Hundley. He was he was good for a little bit.
Yep.
Dwight Smith. Eric Plunk. Perfect name for a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Bowe. That picture, I mean, that looks almost faded a little bit. Dennis Bosher. Carl Willis. Roman Garcia. Sean Berry. And Tony Fasasa. Fosis.
I think people sometimes probably watch our videos and be like, well, these two guys
Don't know how to say anything.
I think I see a Diamond King.
I saw one hiding.
So
Yeah.
We got one.
That'd be 3 already, and we still got a lot of packs to open, so there's not going to be a lot of suspense in the rest of the packs. Mo Sanford, Jeremy Hernandez, Dan Howitt. That even looks bright for a athletics
like
jersey.
Yeah. Jersey.
Mike Sims, Randy Velarde, Scott Livingstone, John Weiner, probably called Weiner a lot, Arthur Rhodes, Mel Rojos, Archie Corbin,
I love those Royals. I love those blue unis of the Royals.
Tommy Gregg. Now, it's weird. I mean, they really have him labeled as a pinch hitter. I'm sure he had different roles in that.
Had to.
Yeah. Wally Backman on somebody's back.
Oh, they did that on
Yeah.
purpose.
There's Bo.
Oh, nice.
Bo Jackson.
Nice. With the White Sox.
Yeah, that's a nice card. And there's the
oh, that's a nice
yep.
one. I like Doc
Dwight.
Gooden.
Yep. It's a good looking card. And Randy Myers. A little mix up. Oh.
All right. so. I think he was on the front of another pack, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The first card, I think so. So that's a MVP, 1991 AL MVP card. Ruben Amaro, Randy Bush, Jose Offerman, Mitch Webster, Nolan Ryan.
He was
Another
in that
Nolan
pack,
Ryan. It was so it's the second pack with both a Cal Ripken and a Nolan Ryan, who honestly are two of the stars from this era that, if you say there's any value to their cards, they actually have maintained a little bit of value in the sense that maybe you can get $1 for them. Kurt Schilling.
Which that kind of goes with our first video, says you never get those duplicate packs. And
We did.
We were lucky enough to get it.
You're absolutely right. And there's his brother, Billy Ripken, Steve Foster. So we've proven my theory wrong. But that's good. So you got these on eBay. Do you remember about how much you paid for these?
I don't.
Dave West. I know I've looked at some of these, and I think they are a little more expensive than some of the other Junk Wax era boxes. You can get a lot of the boxes for around $10, but I think these really go more for $15 to $20 a box. Probably because of the Donruss or the Diamond Kings and the possibility of the elite inserts. Freddie Benavidez, Cheeto Martinez, checklist card.
I gave $39.99 for both of them.
So about $20. Yep. That's about what I've seen them going for. They're a little more than like like I've got boxes here of 87 tops that you can get for about $10 a box, approximately. Okay. So I think we may have another Diamond King insert here.
Maybe we've hit
We
the
may
mother
have
load here.
Maybe it's close to a hot box as we're gonna get. Mark Langston, Andy Benes, Spike Owen, Mark Williamson, Darren Holmes, Gary DiSarcina, Royce Clayton, rated rookie, Mike Fetters, Scott Aldred, Juan Bell, Chris Bazio, Chris Jones, Ruben Amaro, and Brian McRae. So let's
maybe they give you more because the second half of the checklist is less desirable than the first half.
I know these are not like they're not we haven't had a Hall of Famer yet on this pack of Diamond Kings.
So if it holds true, we've hit the
We're
Diamond
done.
King quota.
Yep. If you've watched our first video of Series 1, we got 4, which is what you get on average to a box. And so we're probably less than halfway through this box, and we've already hit 4. So we'll see if we have a dry spell here. I imagine we will, but there's another throwback jersey for the Giants. Kim Batiste. I wonder if his name's Kim. Kimothy.
Emil.
Kimothy.
That's a boy named Sue.
God, that's a new one to me. So there's our Jose. So yep, he was in Series 2. Jose was just a superstar, not a Hall of Famer. Even without the PEDs, I don't think he quite has the numbers to be a Hall of Famer. It's very controversial, but he's a superstar no matter what you say about him. Carlton Fisk, Hall of Famer, and Bo Jackson. So if you got a Bo Jackson card and a Jose Canseco card in the same pack as a kid, man, that was it. Rod Beck, Ken Patterson, Dale Svim. There's Oil Can Boyd. Love that name.
What's Oil Can's name?
Dennis.
Yeah,
Dennis Oil Can. Gary DiSarcina. Joe Boweaver. Javier Ortiz. Charlie Hayes. And Rance Mullenix.
What's your first memory of Canseco?
First memory of Canseco. I don't know that I necessarily have a memory from him in game, but like I remember. Do you remember the Blues Brothers thing where him and Mark McGuire? There's a poster, and it's called Bash Brothers instead of Blues Brothers, but they were dressed up like the Blues Brothers with the, like the hat and everything from the Blues Brothers, and I do remember them hitting home runs and obviously doing the forearm bash with one another.
For me, it's probably when he was a Ranger and that ball bounced off his head and went over the fence.
You know what? I've got that ready for an intro, so you probably have already seen it if you're watching this video, but that is going to be the intro to this video.
What are the chances that was going to happen?
I know. Jose played with quite a few teams. Played with Oakland, obviously. Moved on to the Texas Rangers. I think he played with the Blue Jays for a while. I know he played with the Devil Rays for a while. He bounced around at the end of his career.
Did he play for the Yankees?
Played for the Yankees,
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
He'll always be a
He's an
athlete.
yeah, he's an Oakland A.
Just same thing, like in today's cards, when you see McGuire as a Cardinal, like
Right.
McGuire's an athletic.
Yes.
I mean, Lance Dixon, Howard Farmer, Jose Mesa, Joe McGrain, Hensley Mullins, Jamie Navarro, Steve Bichelle, Alfredo Griffin, Dennis Martinez, Randy Velarde, Reggie Sanders, rated rookie, Brian Hickerson, Mike Stanton, Gary Cooper, and Lance Blankenship.
That was a dud of a
Yeah.
pack.
If you're out there watching, and comment below what's your first memory of Canseco or any of these guys that were stars in the late 80s and early 90s.
And I do remember another early memory of Canseco, kind of a baseball card connection, because I don't necessarily remember watching a lot of Oakland A's games, but the 40-40 club that Acuna just missed out on. He had several special 40-40 cards, including from 1989 Donruss. There was a special Canseco 40-40 club card that I remember really desiring.
Oh, that was one of the on the checklist, one of the cooler cards. Excuse me.
Nolan Ryan and Goose Gossage. There's two Hall of Famers there, actually.
Joe Heskett. But if you Negley, Andy Moda, then there's some PFP right there.
That is. That's perfect. Yes.
Milt Hill and Donald Harris. But if you think about Canseco, you look at him, and obviously later in his career he got bigger due to PEDs, but he doesn't look like a 40-40 candidate.
No, you wouldn't think he's as fast. He would be as fast as he was, but he was really speedy. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I guess that Cal Ripken auto don't want to get out of the pack. I don't guess.
I don't know. I mean, I know Acuna got really close. I think he had over 40 and maybe had 38 still in base.
Yeah, 37, 38 before he went down with this hip sprain at the end. With 2 or 3 games left.
I just don't know that we'll ever see another 40-40 guy. I don't think the teams just don't play small ball and steal bases like they used to.
Yeah, it's a shame that he came so close. Maybe, which he's still young, maybe he'll have another chance. Luis Aquino, Francisco Cabrera, Espinoza, Jim Corsi. That's a kind of a unique card. Him throwing the ball up in there. Rod Beck, Kevin Napier. If you saw some of our older videos, I opened up a 2018 Topps archive and pull his auto out of a pack.
And that's a much more flat. Your auto is much more flattering than that picture.
Yeah.
I mean.
John Marzano, Keith Mitchell, Stan Belinda, and Wilson Alvarez. No hitter in his second start.
I
pretty
kind of
cool.
vaguely remember that. Yeah, he had Wilson Alvarez was decent for a few years.
Well, there was no auto in there.
Just hard.
Let's in reality that thing's like a unicorn to the pool, but the fact that it's an option, you still keep your hopes up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Carlos Martinez, Tom Candiotti, Dale
Savum, yeah, I can't say it either. Yeah.
Joe Gray, Rex Hudler. There's Ozzie Smith,
Wizard of Oz,
Danny Wilson, Mark Salas, Mike Bordick, Frank Viola, Chris Sabo, All-Star card, Frank Castilla.
Saw Chris Sabo as a Nashville Sound a few times. Nashville Sounds were the minor league team for the Reds back in the day.
Socha, he's
Socha.
doing it as
He
well.
laid it down. Yep. So dangerous.
So your opinion, shortstop wise, is Ozzie Smith or Cal Ripken the better shortstop?
Oh, well, defensively, you got to go with Ozzie Smith. But I think all around, I think most teams, I mean, Ripken had the bat to go along with strong defense. Yeah. Speaking of, Barry Larkin's he's a Hall of Famer, but underrated from the NL from a shortstop perspective because he was always second in All-Star voting to Ozzie Smith, so never got the recognition, but he's right up there too.
Bruce Ruffin. Is Benito Santiago. Joe Carter's he was never Hall of Fame material.
He wasn't, although he's got decent numbers and had a unbelievable moment with that home run in the World Series, but no.
I guess those moments like that is when people can have one moment and you think they're a star,
Yeah, kind of like Kirk Gibson, he's got that iconic moment, but just not the career that's required for the Hall of Fame.
Like Harold Baines, I honestly didn't know he had a big career.
Yeah, if you look at his numbers, they're just surprisingly good, Like I remember as a kid, you were never excited about a Harold Baines card, but he just kind of compiled, if you will, just a ton of good stats. There's a Ryan Sandberg All-Star card. Second baseman, obviously. Jim Clancy. And that's the other thing is, especially compared to today's players, maybe that's not true, but maybe especially back in the day, your second baseman and your shortstop were always kind of short, smaller guys. And like Sandberg and Ripken were both just big guys, Jim Thome, rated rookie. I don't think, for whatever reason, I guess I know he had a 1991 Upper Deck card, so this actually isn't considered a rookie for purposes of how I think Beckett defines a rookie, but that's still a rated rookie. Jim Thome, Hall of Famer, 500 home run club. I think he's got 600 career home runs actually.
Did that Tribe team? Did it ever win a World Series?
It did not. No.
It went many times.
I think the Braves beat them. The Braves beat them in their one World Series win from that time period. There's a Frank Thomas card. So we got a Ken Griffey Jr. in Series 1, and Frank Thomas would have been highly desirable for Series 2. Jack Howell, Doug Keott, Mike Messina, and he had a 91 rookie card. So this is very very early in his career. Obviously, he would go on to be Hall of Fame pitcher majority of the time with the Orioles, but he also pitched with the Yankees for a while as well.
he won a World Series with the Yankees?
He may have won a World. I think he did. I think 95 maybe. I think he did. I think we are coming up. We're not getting any more of those Diamond Kings, so I think we used up all our luck early. Roger Mason, Bobby Thigpen, Ivan Calderon. I mean, he's dressed like straight out of the 70s movie. You know, he's got the 2 buttons down, gold chain swinging, you know.
And that would go with the Nationals break. Oh, wait.
That looks like a Dennis Eckersley. He's trying to look like Dennis Eckersley. Paul Sorrento, Chris George, 2 last names, or 2 first names, I should say. There's a Sammy Sosa with the White Sox. So I don't think I've ever seen this card. That's speaking of looking how thin he looks there. You know, we talked about Jose kind of juicing up. There's Terry Pendleton. Okay, I started to say I know we saw some Terry Pendleton cards. This is an MVP card, 1991 NL MVP. I didn't even know that he won the MVP, so that's cool. That's really cool. Xavier Hernandez, Jeff Bagwell. He did win the Rookie of the Year, so that was a question we had. We had a question in season or Series 1 if Jeff Bagwell won the Rookie of the Year, and I think he did because we were curious why he was in the Diamond King inserts in his second year. Ron Darling, Ray Sanchez, John Cerruti, Rob Maurer, Gerald Williams.
I love the looks of those so much. I think I'm going to go purchase that Bagwell Diamond.
Get it, yeah. Oh, you can probably get it for $1 on eBay, I bet.
We're going to find out right now. So have they finalized the Rays playing half of their seasons in Montreal yet?
I don't know. I heard about that. Is that a final deal? Okay, I heard about that. Chris Gwynn, Dave Fleming, Vaughn Hayes, Freddie Benavidez, Dave Burba, Darryl Strawberry. So I would kind of rate Darryl Strawberry like I do Jose Canseco. He was a superstar, you know, like he's not a Hall of Famer, but he was just a superstar. And that's a Tom Glavine All-Star card, Hall of Famer, 300 wins. Brooke Jacoby, Doug Henry, Ramon Martinez. The day of the 300-game winner may be over, too, the way pitchers are used now. It would just be tough for someone to get 300 wins. Jim Gantner.
I can do a buy it now on eBay for $1, and the shipping's $1.50.
So $2.50.
Yeah, shipping's more than the cost. But it's not about the price. It's about who you like to collect.
Right, that's exactly right. What makes you happy? Jamie Quirk, Mark Carrion, Lee Stevens, Greg Maddux. Look at that, Dustin. That card's got damage. That's unusual. It definitely wasn't from the box, but I don't know if you can see it.
I see the crease in it, yeah.
Milt Thompson.
Maybe Donruss is watching this and they'll send me a
Dave Hansen.
replacement.
Yes, Manuel Lee, Joe Boweaver, Barry Manuel. The damage had to be on a Greg Maddux card, too. You know, look at that batting stance. I don't know if that's his stance or if he just took a weird pitch.
I hope he just raised it from a bunt.
Jesse Roscoe, Rob Ducey. He kind of looked like he was taking a Ducey, you know. Ozzie Smith, All-Star card, and Bob Scanlon.
If you're watching this video, that's why it's always key to open your cards up on video, because if they're damaged out of the pack, I mean, in today's cards, you have proof that it was damaged out of the pack, and most manufacturers will send you a replacement or something.
Is that right? Yeah. I remember Upper Deck used to do that. I sent in a card that had been damaged. I opened it damaged, and they back from 1990. I think it was a Chad Mottola. I thought he was going to be good. Julio Franco, Steve Farr.
What?
So this is one of those bonus cards. BC8, Florida Marlins. I think they would come into existence 93, I think.
If
So
you were going to get a bonus card, that's a big disappointment. And it's not one of the elites.
right.
Yeah. There wasn't any chance of an auto or an elite wasted on a Florida Marlins logo.
Right. Tino Martinez, rated rookie. Dave Hollins. Roger Clemens, 1991 AL Cy Young. I kind of like that they've got all these various award-winning cards in this second series, so that's kind of cool.
So neither are any one of the Martinez brothers Hall of Famers?
Are they brothers?
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed they were.
Oh,
maybe they're not.
Maybe
Maybe they're not.
I don't think they are, but yeah, Edgar Martinez is in the Hall of Fame. That's who you're talking about. Yeah.
I thought
They may be. I don't know.
if that was a stupid assumption,
I
make a comment below and tell us. But
you may be right.
Cousins or
Maybe
something. Dave Anderson, Willie Frazier, Brian Williams, not the NBC Brian Williams, Tim Nehring, Junior Ortiz, Cecil Espy, John Vanderwall, rated rookie.
You know, that's weird. If you look at the next one, like his
Name.
the name is
that's why I did.
lowercase letters,
Yeah.
whereas and I guess
Yeah.
they did that because of the
So big,
Vanderwall,
yeah.
because it's
Yeah, I thought his name did
Weird.
look odd to me. Mike Hartley, Sid Fernandez, Riel Cormier, Jim Olander, Willie Banks, Jeremy Hernandez, Skeeter
He's gonna
Barnes,
get busted. He's gonna get his fingers busted too.
William Henry Barnes. Not a
Skeeter.
Skeeter in there. Looks like he's already got a nub there while he's holding. Steve Wapnick. Well, I hate that we all of our Diamond Kings came at the front, it looks like.
Yeah, 1992. That was probably my peak collecting was probably like 1989, 1990, and it started to kind of go down. And I probably stopped collecting around 1993. That's about when I, started high school and started caring about other things, besides baseball cards.
Girls and cars.
Uh-huh.
Darren Lewis, Rob Malicote, Craig Shipley, Steve Frey, Don Mattingly.
Donnie Baseball. That's their first Mattingly. So. It's another superstar, what I would consider a superstar, not a Hall of Famer. But
Jose Tolentino, hiding that bat knob, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Seitzer, Scott Cooper, Tom Glavine. We had a Glavine
we
before?
had a Glavine All-Star card, but not that one.
I wish I could find this. I don't know if it was a tweet. It had to have been a tweet. I wish I could find it. I guess Bryce Harper had taken a photo with his kid's name written on the back of his bat, on the bottom of his bat knob, and the tweet said, Bryce Harper takes picture with kids on bottom of bat knob, just like Billy Ripken did to his.
Wow.
Javier Ortiz, Ricky Bones, Tom Foley, Joe Orsulak, Jeff King, Dave Valet. That's a unique card. Jeff Hewson, Brett Barber, John Smoltz,
Hall of Famer.
Dwight Evans, Gene Larkin, Kim Batista, Greg Graybeck, Dave Cochran, and Rob Deere. Doug Simmons, Teddy Wood, Scott Livingstone, Chris Gardner. Oh, we got
That's
another.
the other one.
I guess were this their expansion years?
Yeah, they came at I guess this was when they were awarded the expansion,
Okay.
and then '93 I think was their first year, I believe.
Bilecki, Brown, Cerveus, Chuck Knobloch, Castilla.
I need to get a Biggio card too. I don't
Yeah,
think
we
we've
haven't.
seen Biggio in either.
Perez. It's funny. It's like he's.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Spear. Plessic. Tartable. And Otto. Franklin Stubbs. Pat Mahomes.
So there's
yeah.
Pat Mahomes, who his son is now obviously Patrick Mahomes, famous Kansas City Chiefs quarterback right now.
That's cool. Daryl Boston. Jerry Don Gleaton. Jimmy Poole. Daryl Hamilton. Ted Power. Kim Campanese. Omar Vizquel. Mark Leiter. Joe Slasarski. Chris Donnells. Will Clark. Sam Militillo. Brent Nackart.
It's funny, all these rookie cards, they never made it, they never amounted to much, but it's like, I'm sure they tell people, oh yeah, I just play Major League Baseball. I'm like, really? Hey,
Mike Schooler. Tim Cruz. There's
Andre Dawson finally.
All-Star.
All-Star, yeah.
Manuel Lee. Wilson Alvarez. Rudy Phoenix. Andahar Sedino. Gerald Young. Chris Bosio. Rob Ducey. Dave Val.
You never see many players in front of a chain link fence. That had to be like spring training or something.
Ricky Jordan. Jose Uribe. Eric Davis.
Semi-star.
Frank Viola. So of the packs that are left, what's something that we haven't. You mentioned the Biggio. We haven't
seen Biggio. We haven't seen. I'm pretty sure George Brett was still active at this point. Yeah, Biggio, Brett. Unless they were in Series 1 and we just didn't get them. Dave Burba. There's another Darryl Strawberry. Another Tom Glavine All-Star card. Gil Heredia. Anthony Young. I think he set the record for most losses in a row. Dave Martinez, he had, I think, 20 losses in a row. Arthur Rhodes. Bob Zupkich. Scott Bradley. Mike Magnante. David Weathers, who is from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and I had mentioned earlier off camera, I think he went to a local community college here.
Which I'm a graduate from.
Me too. Tom Glavine, Roger McDowell, Craig Wilson, and Ron Jones.
Trying to find Biggio on the checklist here.
Surely he was not.
I found it. Yeah. Number 75.
So he was in Series 1. Oh. Okay, so this is interesting. 3 make no-hitter history. Pena, Merker, and Wohlers. So that's an Atlanta Braves combined no-hitter card. Kind of cool. Jeff Nelson, Bob McClure, Scott Terry, Chris Gwynn, Dave Fleming, Vaughn Hayes, Freddie Benavidez, Dave Burba. So that's, I don't know if that was in the same pack, but those were back-to-back in the previous pack. Strawberry and Glavin. Still got this sequencing. Brooke Jacoby and Doug Henry. All right, so one more pack here for me. All right, Cal Eldred, Damon Berryhill, Junior Naboa, Dave Anderson, Willie Frazier, Brian Williams, Tim Naring, Junior Ortiz, Cecil Espy, Junior, there's that, or John Vanderwaller's that name again, Mike Hartley, Sid Fernandez, Rahil Cormier, Jim Olander, and Willie Banks.
Finish those off.
Sure?
Yeah, I did like 6 the last time, just so they'd leave 6.
All right, let's see what we got here. Another Daryl Strawberry.
He's never been on front, though, has he?
No.
Yeah,
That's the third time that the Strawberry and the Glavin All-Star card are back-to-back, along with a checklist. Yep. That is, that's great. Ramon Martinez. You can tell he's throwing some off-speed. His hand is. Jim Lawrence, Glenn Allen Hill, Derek Bell, Jim Gantner. Oh, I think we've got. Yep. This guy he kind of knows what he's doing here. He's doing it the right way.
His fingers are behind the bat.
Good job, my man. Luis Alicea, Rich Gedman.
I hope
Jeff
that moved
Juden.
over the win and run.
I do too, Ryan Bowen. All right. I think we just got lucky on all those Diamond King inserts. They were all the way I pulled them out. And
get loaded with them.
Rudy Cienez. Charlie Hayes, Mariano Duncan. There's that funny picture again. Mike Sharperson, John Jaha, Ricky Jordan, Jeff Reed, Mike Schooler, Tim Cruz. There's the Hawk All-Star card again.
You didn't get a base.
I haven't seen his base. There's another Jose Canseco, right fielder. Edwin Nunez, and Juan Guzman. It's funny, there's a lot of, if you're on Twitter, there's a lot of Jose Canseco super collectors. And in fact, if you've watched on Netflix, the Jack of All Trades documentary, you meet a Jose Canseco super collector, along with Jose Canseco. So a lot of people, he was a superstar. He was a lot of people's favorite player as a kid. People still collect his cards. Gil Heredia, Anthony Young, Dave Martinez, Arthur Rhodes, Bob Subchick, Scott Bradley, Mike Magnante, David Weathers again, Tom Glavine, 1991 NL Cy Youngs. I think Glavin's got 3 cards in here. He's got the Cy Young card, he's got the All-Star card, and he's got his base card. He may have a Diamond King card as well, I'm not sure. Craig Wilson and Ron Jones to finish it out. Well, that was a lot of fun. We've got our Diamond King inserts. I don't think they were quite as good as the first Series 1, but we've got a McRae. I think our best one here is Dwight Gooden and Jay Bell and Brett Butler. If you don't follow us on Twitter, please do so at DC Ball Cards. If you like the video, please subscribe. We love to hear comments. If you have anything to say about this particular set, or if you'd like to see us open a particular box, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, any feedback is appreciated. If you know anyone else that does similar things that we do, if you're one of those, let us know who you are. We'll follow you as well.
Until next time, thanks for watching.